unfortunately had dealt with cysts as well, and it occurred to me that I used the vines choked out the tree, and obviously that's kind of what was happening in your womb with the thing. So I was like, oh my god. And this was only at that poetry that it made complete sense to me when she read that poetry, and I thought, of course that's what that was about. And I unintentionally did this piece, not even thinking about it, but that actually touches my life and obviously touched hers, which I thought was amazing. The whole night was really cool because everybody did their interpretations of the art, but a lot of them also intersected with the actual artist's intention for the art too. And the second piece, similar to the first, was kind of my abstract interpretation of endometriosis. I don't know if I'm sure most people are familiar with how it actually affects women, and that it pretty much entangles your insides of your womb and so that was the idea behind that, was to kind of show my interpretation of that in I hate to say in a aesthetically pleasing way, but that's pretty much it was in an abstract way. So that's why it's womb 1 and 2 because it's the same lines that I used for that in that, and I thought it was only appropriate to use them in a way that kind of had the same meaning. So that's what those are.
Yeah, it completely works like that. When I saw the top one, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I didn't want to use them in any other way and kind of make a cutesy thing with them, because then once they took on that meaning for me with that one, I was like, I have to make that one the same as that and kind of, have it be the same subject. So I have no more of those lines, just FYI. I will not be using them for anything else. So they are done after those two. Yeah, I'm glad you noticed that. Thank you. Those are actually pretty meaningful pieces for me. You guys have awesome questions. Oh, this guy. Yes. So I was telling them earlier that I have this desire to make installation art, and just have all these ideas for what I want to do. This was one of them, but I did want to use one of the walls for that in here, and this is what I came up with. And the idea behind this is actually the theme for these masks, or the reason why I liked them so much when I started to research them and look at masks all over the world, is that masks are everywhere. They're all over the world. It's one of these few things that unifies everybody, that we all have, and we all have different versions of, and we all kind of use generally for the same purpose. So they're the Aborigines have them, in Africa and in China and everywhere, South America, everybody has them, a version of them. So for me, another thing that I felt everybody has, even though they're mostly associated with Egypt and maybe the Inca or pyramids, they're all over the world. Some are called mounds, some are, but they're in different forms all over the world as well. And so this was my kind of almost a world map, but my interpretation of them being everywhere as well. But it's one of those other things that is all over the earth as well. So I liked the idea of, I don't know, things that are totally different from each other and that are original to each part. When you look at them, this is from there, this is from there, but are kind of a unifying theme as well for the whole thing, or for humans all over the planet. Yeah. That's why they're all weird shapes. I tried to make one at least be a pyramid, but the rest of them are all kind of weird shaped pyramids. Yep. Yeah. Yay. Thank you guys. That was awesome.
Thank you, Sylvia.
You all were talking.
Thank you.